Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos. Going in on the wheels of steel.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. That's the truth. This is it.
The cocaine and the crack.
They all sound the same to me.
There's a war going on outside. No man is safe from.
That's how I'm living.
That's how we do it.
That's just the way it is.
Give
That's
it
the reason why I came to you. Drink and women and money.
Good morning, Las Vegas, and all my sports bettors around the world. You know what time it is. It's time to grab your bankroll. Hit the window and beat the line. You're rocking with the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, 107.1 FM here in Las Vegas, AM 1400, waking you up early in the morning. And right now, we promised him to you. World famous, world renowned, top 5 dead or alive comedians in the game. My main man, Aries Spears. Welcome to the big board, Aries. Thank you so much for stopping by this morning. The fans were super excited to have you on the show. And again, I just wanted to thank you so much for checking us out. You guys can follow Aries over on Instagram at Aries Spears. Also, check out his Spears and Steinberg podcast on Apple Podcasts. Waking you up early in the morning again, Aries. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Yo, what's good, brother?
So, like I said, over the past couple of weeks, we've been watching this NBA Finals, and I've been watching some of your Instagram comments on some of the things you've been seeing about the state of basketball, and I was like, you know what? He'd be great to get on. It'd be great to wake up early in the morning with all the fans, give us some jokes, give us some laughs, but also your basketball knowledge is on point. So just tell the fans a little bit about you, what you're doing for folks who don't know you, but you guys should know who he is. Again, I'm telling you, Mad TV, Def Comedy Jam, one of the greatest impressionists to ever do it. So just go ahead, break it down a little bit, and then we'll jump into some of this basketball talk. Again, thank you so much.
Yeah, man, I think you pretty much covered it, man. Just, been in the game for like over 3 decades, man. Just doing my thing, podcast, Mad TV, different shows and stuff like that, man. Just staying on this grind.
You know what time it is. And again, you guys can check this show out on Twitter at We Beat the Line. Again, follow Aries over on Instagram at Aries Spears. Check out his podcast over on Apple Podcasts and all of your favorite podcast apps called Spears and Steinberg. So this is a show about betting. This is a show about sports information and picks that can put cash in your pocket. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, the NBA Finals could be wrapped up tomorrow, Aries. Rotation number 521, the Miami Heat, +9 on the spread, +300 on the money line. 522, the Denver Nuggets, -9 on the point spread, -380. Very, very expensive to bet on them. The total is 208.5. Based on what you've seen from Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat, my opinion, it seems like what they did with the Boston Celtics going to Game 7, I think that was their championship, man. They just don't have the energy. I don't see the legs, and they don't have the scoring. I mean, Jimmy Butler is doing all he can, averaging about 27 points a game. But when you take a look at the rest of the team going down the list, you just don't see those scorers. And when you talk about the Nuggets on that side, you got Nikola Jokic. Again, a lot of people don't know who he is or what he was about. Best Euro player that they have in the game right now. I think he's a lot like Arvydas Sabonis if he would have been able to get to the NBA earlier back in the day. But just talk about this Jimmy Butler thing because everybody was betting on him. But in my opinion, I just don't see the Heat with the firepower. They just don't have the players to get it done. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think this was a foregone conclusion. It's like, Miami was the 8th seed, so for them to even have made it as far as they did with Boston, I think, like you said, was the big championship. It was, they had succeeded past expectations. And Denver is just too loaded. I mean, with their size and Jokic, like you said, the premier big man, MVP, Murray, there's just too much firepower. So I really, they got their one win, but I really didn't see it, nor do I believe it'll go any further than tonight. And, this game is in Denver, too. So I think this is over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at it from the perspective of what the Denver Nuggets are trying to do, trying to win their first ever championship. The Heat just don't have the firepower to get it done. Again, talking about this Monday night game, you guys can watch this game on Fubo TV. Again, check out FuboTV.com/JB. Giving all my listeners 15% off. And that's 7 days free. And again, on the line with me this morning, the great Aries Spears. I'm telling you, man, I'm the only guy in Vegas doing sports the way I do it. And like I said, you are the first celebrity on the show here, 107.1 FM. Shout out my main man, Mark Hayes, for putting that together. He's our station director. Bringing you on today is a big deal. So just talk about the state of basketball because, again, I'm a big fan of basketball. I have been for years. I played in high school, played a little bit of Division I. The changes you have now, you got the high school players able to catch up some money. College players are getting paid. But as far as the relationship between the fans and the players, I just don't see basketball as the cultural phenomenon that it was back in the day. As I mentioned a couple of days ago on my show, you don't see kids wearing jerseys anymore. The sneakers created by these players are just all space boots. They're not fashionable. How do you think that's going to affect basketball going forward from a fan perspective? Because, again, the game has changed, a lot more jump shots, a lot less defense, and even in my opinion, a lot less spectacular dunks. I mean, you see these guys coming up on Instagram in high school and college, and they're in these summer leagues, and they're doing all kinds of fly over the windmills and all this type of stuff, but then they get in the game, and you just see them launching bricks and launching stones, man, and then you try to bet on them, you don't win a dime. So just let me know what your thoughts are, because like I said before, it seems to me, especially here in Vegas, that it's becoming more of a niche club sport. It's not water cooler talk anymore, but go ahead.
But you let this generation tell it. Today's athletes are bigger, stronger, faster. The game is supposed to evolve in such a way where, they like to relegate, which I believe was the best era of basketball, the 90s, to that being where, the greatest player of all time, Michael Jordan, would have ice cream truck drivers, plumbers, and janitors, which I think is such an insult to that era, because I really believe that era was far more physical. Defense was actually being played. It was a tougher era. And it's not Michael Jordan's fault that he was the most dominant player of his era. You can't dismiss guys like Patrick Ewing, though, Reggie Miller, David Robinson. Everybody that he beat to win a championship had all-star and Hall of Fame caliber players. They like to relegate it to, well, who did Michael compete against? It wasn't Michael versus the two guard. It was the Bulls versus the team in front of them.
Right.
And every team that they played in front of them had all-stars and Hall of Famers.
Right. I mean, if you even look at it from the video game perspective, back in the day, all of us Nintendo players, guys who had those Sega Genesis, you remember NBA Jam, right? That was the whole premise, and I know you're a big video game player, so I know this would, resonate with you, but that was a big premise of that game, that each and every single team had two players that were stars. And then on the Chicago Bulls, I think they went with Pippen and Horace Grant. Now, let's talk a little bit about that, because it goes into my next question, because you did mention Michael Jordan. Why is it so hard for basketball fans of this generation, and it seems like of many generations now in this information age of social media and clips and highlights, why is it so hard for them to just accept and exalt Michael Jordan as the greatest of all time? I just do not understand why in basketball as a sport that there is any debate about the greatness of Michael Jordan. Of course, there were great players before him and great players after him, but just what he did for basketball, a cultural phenomena, a fashion phenomenon. Like I said, the Jordans, we wear them. People still wear them to this day. They're a fashion statement. But if you look at the shoes that are coming out from like LeBron, again, these space boots, these guys losing shoe deals. I'm like, I wouldn't buy that crap anyway. Who's buying this stuff? All these weird colors. Why do you think it's so hard for people to accept Michael Jordan as the greatest basketball player ever? Go ahead.
I don't know if when you say it's hard for a lot of people of this generation, and of course there are people from my generation who are also some LeBron fans. I just think it's out of sight, out of mind. It's crazy to me that it's become popular to almost tarnish this man's legacy. If you want to like LeBron, that's fine, like LeBron. But, to somehow tarnish Michael's legacy seems like it's become popular, which is absolutely absurd to me. Other than Muhammad Ali, he is probably the most recognizable global famous athlete of all time.
Correct. And I mean, when you look at it from that perspective, going into this year's NBA draft, again, I get the text and the messages from the guys over at the NBA. Again, shout them out for hooking us up with that on Instagram, but I have no idea who any of these players are. I mean, you look at this kid, Wembanyama. He's coming in from France. He's going down to Popovich in the Spurs. But in relationship to the rest of the players, and we talk about the national champions who just won Connecticut. Again, shout out to UConn Huskies for just winning that. but we just do not see the promotion of the American college basketball player. And in my opinion, I think it died off with the Zion Williamson blowing out the Nike shoe. I mean, shoe money is big money in basketball. Now you've got the NIL where they can pay the kids. But in the relationship, again, back to being a fan of basketball. You remember the NBA draft. We knew guys, first-round guys we knew. All the teams in the tournament we knew. Guys who performed well. The promotion of the individual players. They did player profiles before the games. You just don't see that now. Now we're looking at an NBA draft with a lot of players coming from overseas, a lot of players coming out of schools you never heard of, and there's just no promotion of it from the greater sports media. Why do you think that is, and what do you think they can do to get that changed up and bring back more fans to the basketball arena? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, whoever's leading the face of the league obviously plays a pivotal role in that. And you just mentioned it with Zion Williams. I mean, from Magic and Bird in the 80s to Jordan's dominance in the 90s to Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, it feels like every decade there's been a driving force to keep the league afloat. And I thought, honestly, Zion was going to be the next big thing. But between injuries and inconsistency, it seems like he may not be. So my question then again becomes, who's going to pick up the baton from where LeBron leaves it and truly be the face of the league?
Right. I mean, if you look at the lineup of superstars you got now, you got Kevin Durant struggling, not very much a fan favorite anymore. You had Steph Curry, who was doing the 3-ball, representing the Silicon Valley nerds. Their dynasty is down. There isn't really a face of the NBA, and that is true. I do give you credit for, bringing that up. There really isn't. And there's no consistency as far as dynasty either from a coaching perspective. I mean, we're from the era of Pat Riley, Rudy Tomjanovich, Phil Jackson, the Van Gundy brothers. I mean, I can go on and on. Don Nelson. I can name you coaches from the 80s, 90s, even going back into the 70s. The coaches and players move around so much now, man. It's like these guys got a U-Haul in the locker room after every game. You never know who's going to be there next year. Thank you so much for stopping by the big board. My main man, Aries Spears. Tell us where you're going to be performing, man. I know you got to be on the road. I mean, thank you again so much for getting up early in the morning on the East Coast, waking you up again. Aries Spears podcast, Spears and Steinberg. It'll be the best hour in your morning or whenever they release it. I'm telling you, roll up, grab yourself some coffee, and get ready to laugh. Their takes on sports and just general society coming from that old school comedy. These guys are giving you straight grease on that podcast. Straight cut, no chase. I think you say something about getting the Bolivian, right?
Bolivian, yeah, man.
So, yeah, just tell us where you're going to be performing, and then if you're going to be out in Vegas, hopefully this summer or this fall, we're definitely going to be promoting it here on the show. Again, thank you so much. Go ahead.
All love, yeah. You just go to my website, ariesspears.com. It's got all my tour dates on there, and where I'm going to be week to week, month to month. And also, like you said, check out my podcast, Spears and Steinberg, available on all streaming platforms.
Thank you so much. My main man, Aries Spears. Aries, you want to stay for a second segment, or you got to get back to making that big-time Hollywood money? Go ahead.
I got to get back on that grind, dog.
You know what time it is. My main man, Aries Spears, thank you so much for stopping by. He's getting back on the grind, and we're going to get back on the grind here at Vegas Scoreboard Express, jumping into these sports betting picks. Vegas Golden Knights taking it down last night in South Florida. We're going to be talking about it with my main man, Ron, Third Down Best Bets. Again, thank you so much, and a big shout-out to my main man, Aries Spears. Check out his podcast, Spears and Steinberg, on all your podcast media platforms. Check him out on Instagram at Aries Spears, and, of course, his website, ariesspears.com. So you guys know what time it is. Time to wake up early in the morning, grab your bankroll, and hit the window. Time to get that money with your boss at the big board, JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you the exclusives, the celebrities, the picks, and the grease.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease. Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
STN Sports is the only sports betting app you need this season. STN Sports has it all. In-play betting, mobile parlay cards, the Play Plus card to fund and withdraw from anywhere in Nevada, and the latest lines on every game. STN Sports even lets you earn rewards on every bet. Safe and easy betting from your phone or tablet. Go to stationcasinosports.com or sign up at any Station Casino, Fiesta Wildfire, or the El Cortez. Details at the sportsbooks.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
More fire, more heat.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball. JBTHETICKET. Giving you that grit. Vegas Scoreboard Express.
Always spitting that explosive fire.
JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, waking you up early in the morning back here in Las Vegas, KSHP 107.1 FM, AM 1400. You guys were just listening to my main man, Aries Spears. Again, got my friends out in Hollywood, big-time sports fans tuning into VSX as you should. Follow the show on Twitter at We Beat the Line. Follow us on Instagram at JB the Ticket. Got my co-host on the line, my main man, Ron Third Down Best Bets. Time to jump into some of this hockey talk. The Vegas Golden Knights were able to pull out that win last night, 3-2 over the Florida Panthers. Give them the grease. Dog was barking, and they were able to lock it in. You guys should have been able to watch that game over on Fubo TV. Again, go to FuboTV.com/JB. I'm giving you 15% off and 7 days free. So, Ron, again, good morning. Thank you so much for getting on the big board. I know that's a lot to live up to coming right up after Aries, but again, you're dropping the grease on this hockey, and we are about to make some big-time money. So let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Good morning, sir. How's everybody doing today?
There you go. Again, you guys can follow Ron on Instagram at RaiderHawk1. Check him out on my website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Get all the exclusive replays of the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and where you get all of your favorite listens to music and podcasts. And, of course, you can always check us out on VegasScoreboardExpress.com. So, again, back on the grease talking about this NHL Stanley Cup matchup between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Florida Panthers last night. Vegas, again, was able to take down that win on the road 3-2. No overtimes. Very important for Vegas to maintain. And like I told you last night on the show, or yesterday morning actually, that you need to have consistency. And even though Vegas didn't get out and score 4 or 5 goals, they were very consistent on defense, and that is what we knew it would take for them to win this game. So when you talk about going into Tuesday, the way Vegas was able to kind of control the net, control the pace, and control the tempo, getting that third goal was so critical, but I think more so the defense. The defense really stepped up in this game and kept Florida kind of at bay. It wasn't an outward attacking, aggressive defense, a lot more trapping, just keeping the puck out of scoring position, especially late in the game. But go ahead and tell me what your thoughts are, Ron, and then we'll jump into this Tuesday prediction. Go ahead.
Well, what an ending. That ending was incredible. That last 10 seconds in front of the Vegas net, what a series that was. That was incredible. I mean, Aiden Hill, like I said, he's got quick feet. Thank God for those feet. Right. I mean, that leg got out there, and that pad stopped that shot. Stopped 2 shots, actually, at the last second.
Right.
And Zach Whitecloud breaks a stick and just stands there in the middle, knocking balls out of the way. What's team defense?
That is hockey, man. These boys were playing hockey. I'm telling you, when I saw the stick get snapped, and he just went out there skating around like the Mighty Ducks, looking ready to just lay people out, I was like, yo, that's how you do it, man. You got to win this game.
That's hockey. You throw your body in front of it. You stop that puck at all costs. That's hockey. That's the difference.
I'm telling you, shout out to my man White Cloud here in Las Vegas. We love you over at VSX White Cloud. You know what I mean? Representing the Native American community, playing hockey,
the buzzer sounds,
making it happen.
And they go at it. That was hockey.
That was a good game. Hockey. That was a very good game.
That's why I love hockey. They have that 3 o'clock mentality. We'll settle this after school. You know.
There you go. I'm telling you, put the hands on them, hand check them. You can even put, like I said, it's hockey. Put the hands on them. Go ahead. I'll meet you over at the locker room after this game. I felt that check on the wall. I'm gonna knock you out. You know what I mean?
All game, you're elbowing, sticking each other, jamming that stick in their sides. And then when that buzzer sounded, let's do this.
I'm telling you, man.
And that's hockey.
The Vegas Golden Knights. It is. That is the way that the Vegas Golden Knights. I called them the vegan Golden Knights. I hope not. Oh, you know what I mean? I know these guys are going to be having steak and champagne out here on Tuesday. The Stanley Cup is going to be here in Las Vegas for Game 5. I'm telling you right now, this is an opportunity for this town to really explode and to really bring themselves forward again in the professional sports ranks. We've got the WNBA. The Sparks won the championship last year. I mean, the Aces, excuse me, not the Sparks. I was watching the Sparks play yesterday. Costed me some money on one of my spreads. Still ain't got that out of my mind. I'm like, man, what are these girls doing? You know, I think they were playing the Chicago Sky. But anyway, the Vegas Golden Knights are really poised to win this championship, even if it goes to a Game 6. I mean, I just don't see the Florida Panthers splitting at home and then coming out to T-Mobile Arena, which is going to be packed to the gills. You'll probably have fans on ice skates right next door to the rink, you know, trying to get on the, you know, the rink when these guys win it, because they're set to win. And being a new franchise that has really built itself to win from the start in a league that a lot of people don't understand, it's very hard to maintain dominance in hockey. And if you look at Vegas, out of the 6 seasons, really only last season I think they missed the playoffs, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, just real quick, I got to say for the fans, do not try to rush the ice in Vegas, please. You'll ruin their moment. It's really a wonderful ceremony when your team wins the cup. You get to sit there and watch them celebrate on the ice. You get to see the heads rig up you see, which is really emotional because these guys, they are really out there trying to really beat the hell out of each other.
I'm telling you, man.
And when they present the cup shows up, and it's really an incredible scene. So any fans trying to crash the ice, do not even try it, please.
He's telling you, don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't even try it. You're going to ruin your team's moment. Let them enjoy the cup.
Let these guys enjoy it.
I want to see Alex Pietrangelo holding the cup, not Joe Smith from Henderson in Nevada.
Dropping grease this morning. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. When I get back from this short commercial break, going to be talking some more hockey. And this Vegas Golden Knights on the verge of their first Stanley Cup, bringing the shiny one here to Las Vegas in the desert. That sun is going to be shining all summer on it. I'm telling you right now, the Florida Panthers, again, coming in to Tuesday's game, rotation number 51. Florida Panthers plus 1.5 on the puck line, plus 145 on the money line. Total, again, is 6 goals. It looks like the line makers are pushing it up. Want to see if Vegas can get that over. And Vegas Golden Knights, rotation number 52. These boys are on their way to the Stanley Cup. Only 1 win away, minus 1.5 on the puck line, minus 165 on the money line. We like it. And if you like that puck total, we're going to be talking about it after this short commercial break. So again, my main man Ron, third down, best bets. Again, want to thank Aries Spears for coming on the show this morning, dropping some basketball knowledge on you. I'm telling you, you guys check out his podcast, Spears and Steinberg, and also check out his website for all of his show dates and where he's going to be at ariesspears.com. Any shout-outs, Ron, before we take this short commercial break? Go ahead.
Yeah, I have one Golden Knight fan, legitimate Vegas Golden Knight fan from day one, Rita Rivera Woodward.
There you go.
Congratulations and enjoy it. It's coming to Vegas. It's not coming tonight.
That's what I'm talking about. My main man, Ron, third down, best bets. You stay on the line. We're going to be back right along with you here in Las Vegas, 107.1 KSHP AM 1400 on your dial. You guys are going to want to lock it in every Saturday and Sunday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I'm going to be dropping the grease for you, giving you the picks that pay, sports information you can count on. And I might bring one of my celebrity friends on to give you their opinions on sports. Again, all money, all sports, no bull. JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express. You guys keep it locked right here because I'm dropping grease, and you guys need to be getting money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express. Giving you that grease. Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
The Farmer's Burger from Farmer Boys. Beef, bacon, cheese, hand-smashed avocado, and fresh veggies. Best burger champ. That's how we drop the mic. Farmer Boys. Farm food ain't fast food. Farmer Boys' new always crispy fries stay crispier and tastier all the way home. If they make it home.
Sharing is caring.
Farmer Boys. Farm food ain't fast food.
Yo, you in the mix. World's finest, man.
And I had to come to him.
The DJ keeping the party going. The DJ keeping the party going all night long.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express.
Giving you the grease, all grease, nothing but the grease, waking you up early in the morning every Saturday and Sunday. Vegas Scoreboard Express. I'm your host and boss of the big board, JB the Ticket, live on 107.1 FM, KSHP here in Las Vegas, and AM 1400. If you got us on your AM dial, got my main man Ron Third Down, best bets from the PSX Digital Sports Studios West in LA, on the line with me right now talking about this NHL Stanley Cup Final with the Vegas Golden Knights, one game away from glory. Welcome back to the show, Ron. How you doing? Go ahead.
I am awesome. Thank you, sir.
Again, you guys can check out these games live on Fubo TV. Just to give you an update, if you guys didn't tune in earlier, you're definitely going to want to go back to the website, KSHP.com or VegasScoreboardExpress.com, and check out the segment with my main man, Aries Spears, world-famous comedian, Top 5 Dead or Alive, and that's just off one LP. Check out his podcast, Spears in Steinberg. Again, you guys can check out his website over at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. We're going to put up a link for you, ariespears.com, and also all of your podcast applications. So let's jump back into this Florida Panthers team because we thought that they were going to put up a lot more fight, but again, I think that they're in the same position that the Miami Heat are in by going the distance with Carolina. 6 games, winning that Eastern Conference final. I think that was their championship again. Because to go down 3-1 in the Stanley Cup final, to get blown out in the first 2 games, splitting one at home, do you think the Florida Panthers are just running out of a little bit of, I don't know, maybe, a little bit of Panther power? Go ahead.
No, I think they're just inevitably the better teams coming out, like we're seeing in the NBA finals right now. I mean, the better teams usually win in the finals. Occasionally we'll see an upset, but for the most part, it's what's supposed to be happen. And Vegas is the better team. I mean, no disrespect to the Panthers. The Panthers are a very good team. Vegas is an awesome team. That's the difference, and it's starting to show now.
Right.
You have more.
Go ahead.
You have better personnel. You got more depth, and Vegas is just they come at you in waves. They don't stop, and Florida doesn't have that much defense to stop. Their first 2 lines are pretty good. Their third line, it's not so great. And it's when you got a team like Vegas that has tons of talent coming at you, that third line gets exposed sometimes, and that's kind of what's happening. You're seeing a depth issue with Florida now. They're kind of running out of depth, compared to Vegas.
Right. So talking about it, and then we'll jump into some NBA Finals talk. Also want to give a shout-out to my main man, Scotty Beam Him Up Webb. Was on call today. But he'll be back next week. Be sure to check out his website, MLB-daily.com, for all of your baseball picks. Again, the guy's a walking baseball encyclopedia, dropping grease for you every single day. Check him out on the social medias at Webby20MLB. So again, rotation number 51, the Florida Panthers, plus 1.5 on the puck line, plus 145 on the money line. Now, we know we're not rooting for the money line for the Florida Panthers. Again, all of my South Florida fans, I know. I got to win something back. Got to go with the hometown Vegas Golden Knights. Again, rotation number 52, minus 165 on the money line. I really like the pricing in this Stanley Cup Finals, especially for the Vegas Golden Knights with the juggernaut that they are, to be able to get 165, anything under $200 to win yourself a unit is a pretty good investment. But let's talk about this puck line a little bit, because the Florida Panthers were able to get the puck line last night. And if you take a look at that, talking about it from the dog perspective, do you think the Florida Panthers, even if they lose on Tuesday, would have a similar game like they had last night, keeping it close, but just giving up that one goal that does them in? But go ahead.
Yeah, they can keep it close. I think they're going to come out and we're going to see a dogfight again. I mean, Florida's not going to quit. I mean, they know what everybody's saying. Believe me, they're listening too. They know everybody's saying they're done. So we're going to see a little bit more pissed off Matthew Tkachuk, which is kind of hard to believe because he's pretty much pissed off when he wakes up. But you're going to see, Bobrovsky's going to be on his best game. I mean, they're going to come out and they're going to do everything they can. I don't think it'll be enough. Like I said, the Cup's arriving in Vegas probably tonight. So the town should be rocking because it's not leaving. It's not leaving Vegas. They're going to win this game Tuesday. I really feel it. But I think Florida's going to make them earn it. I think it's going to be a tight game. They might even have to win it in overtime. I'm thinking, like a 5-4, 4-3 game again.
5-4 to 4-3. That looks like over the total. My main man, Ron, third down, best bets. When we get back from this short commercial break, we're going to talk a little bit about this NBA Finals. Miami Heat down 3-1. Looks like the Nuggets are going to be polishing up that O'Brien trophy, putting some more gold on it from their own minds. I'm telling you right now, the NBA Finals. It seemed unpredictable, but as we got into it, we just saw what seems to be meant to be. But again, JB the Ticket and Vegas Scoreboard Express want to come back from this short commercial break. More with my main man, Ron, third down, best bets. Again, shout out my main man, Aries Spears. Check out his podcast, Spears and Steinberg. Check out his website for all of his show dates at ariesspears.com. And most importantly, you guys keep it locked here. 107.1 FM, KSHP.com, AM 1400, VSX Digital Sports Network, VegasScoreboardExpress.com, JB the Ticket. I'm giving you nothing but grease this Sunday morning. June 11th, waking you up early. Want to give a shout out to all the baby daddies. Father's Day is coming up. Go to my website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. I got a ton of deals for you. Stop buying your dad ties and old socks. Guys don't want that. They don't want that. Get them Fubo TV. Go to FuboTV.com/JB so they can watch the game anywhere they want. If they're bored on their job, just go on the app after they sign up on the website, giving them 15% off. Do that for your dad. Do that for JB. So when I get back from this short commercial break, more with Ron, third down, best bets, more grease, and then we're going to get you out of here and get you to the sports book so you can enjoy your wonderful Sunday. Keep it locked. KSHP AM 1400 and 107.1. Get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JBTHETICKET. Vegas Scoreboard Express, giving you that grease.
Basketball season is heating up, so stay in the game with Fubo TV. Get the NBA, NCAA, FIBA, and more. Get 7 days free at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
Jumpers Jungle Family Fun Center is an indoor children's jump and party space in Las Vegas located at 2050 South Rainbow Boulevard. Kids of all ages can come and jump on our bouncers, race through the obstacle courses, speed down the mega slides, slam dunk into the basketball hoops, and much more. Are you looking for that perfect birthday party venue? Look no further. Jumpers Jungle has a party package that will fit your needs. Check out the open play schedule online at jumpersjungle.com or call 702-463-JUMP. It's time to jump your way to fun at Jumpers Jungle on the corner of Oakey and Rainbow.
JB the Ticket in Vegas, Scoreboard Express, back at you live here in Las Vegas, 107.1 FM. Ron, third down, best bets. So you're back on the line with me. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
That's what I'm talking about, waking you up early in the morning. You guys know what time it is. Time to grab your bankroll, hit the window, and beat the line. Again, rocking with the boss of the big board, JB the Ticket and Scoreboard Express. Follow us on the Bird at We Beat the Line. Follow the show on Twitter. That's the Bird at We Beat the Line. And, of course, follow us over on Instagram at JB the Ticket. So, again, by the time we get back next week, Ron, the championship should be settled. Vegas should have the Stanley Cup. But let's talk a little bit about this NBA. Now, this has been a very eventful NBA season. We, again, see another 8th seed in the Miami Heat making it to the finals. But they just haven't been able to get it done, man. They've only won one game. They lost the home court advantage when it was switched back to them, and now they go back to Denver tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:30 p.m. Pacific. Catch this game on Fubo TV, ABC, FuboTV.com/JB, hooking you up with that streaming package. So the Miami Heat, their back is against the wall. Eric Spoelstra, we gave him a lot of grease as the head coach over the last couple of weeks on the show. It was valuable during the Boston Celtics series. I mean, going to Game 7, keeping history intact, no team ever coming back from a Game 7 win or, from down, 3-1, 0-4, whatever it may have been. But when you look at it from that perspective, now that Miami is on the other side of that, I think it just goes back to the quality of basketball. During the 2000s and the 2010s and what have you, the Western Conference was the premier and dominant conference in the NBA. And you really don't hear many sports guys and ladies and sports people talk about the dominance of the Western Conference in the NBA as much today. But I think you're seeing it again, where you see the Eastern Conference team make it out of a tough Eastern Conference for their talent level, and then come over to the Western Conference and just get obliterated by whoever they play in the finals. We saw it with the years that the Golden State Warriors were winning, and now we're kind of seeing that shift back. I mean, we saw it in the bubble with LeBron and those guys getting that paper championship for the Lakers. But, again, if you take a look at the stats, it's been kind of even, but I think we're in a situation now where the Western Conference number 1 seed overall in the NBA was just the best basketball team in the NBA. So with that being said, do you think the Miami Heat have any shot at getting a win? Again, talking about this Miami Heat game. Again, you guys can check this game out on Fubo TV. Rotation number 521. The Miami Heat on the road going back to the Mile High City. Hard to breathe in that elevation. Just a lot of things not looking good for the Miami Heat. Denver, rotation number 522, -9. Miami is +300. Denver is -380 on the money line. You know I don't like expensive money line, so the total is 208. The totals have been all over the place. We've had a lot of unders in this matchup, and I think it may behoove you to take an under in this game just based on Miami's lack of ability to score. Because outside of Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, again, Bam Adebayo's a good player, but I don't know if I want to keep putting money on him as the second option. And then as far as the third option, Miami Heat just don't have one. You got Max Strus out there. I don't know what happened to my guy Caleb Martin. He ended up on a milk carton somehow. What say ye, Ron? How do we bet to make money on this game? The total is looking interesting. It's really the only -110, get you $90 back. Everything else is expensive or a wild money line shot. Go ahead.
It's tough to bet on Miami. I mean, they really shouldn't even have won game 2, really, if you watched. I mean, they got hot in the fourth quarter, really. Denver played lousy the whole game and came back and got them again. They really shouldn't. This series should be over, technically. They should have been swept. Denver's going to win this game. That I don't doubt. I think they're going to put, just like I think, Florida in the hockey game, they're going to put up a Herculean effort tonight. Jimmy Butler's going to play his butt off. I don't think it's going to be enough. I mean, that's what they're running into. Spoelstra is a great coach. He's had a rough series. He doesn't have much there's not much he can do in this series. He could put any lineup on that floor he wants. They're not going to beat Denver.
And they have a lot of injuries, too. Let's not forget Miami's got a lot of injuries. You got Victor Oladipo hurt. Tyler Hero. Everyone is saying if he was available, the X factor, he could possibly be that guy to get you that extra 10 to 15 points. And while I don't doubt that, it's just that, is Tyler Hero really an NBA superstar? Is that somebody you can really bet on? For real?
I doubt that.
You putting your money on that guy?
Sorry.
Go ahead.
He's a good shooter, but he's not a top 10 NBA player.
Right.
That's what it would take to win this series.
Right.
With Jimmy Butler. And I just can't get over Game 3 in Miami where it was just brick city. It was Spoelstra just standing there on the sidelines watching. It was looking amazing on his face. It's like, dude, what's going on here? Tell your guys to quit shooting three-pointers. They stink.
Well, I'm telling you right now, that game. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Denver just played basketball. They just played basketball. They went down the court, played their game. Murray just tore them up. They were so busy trying to shake their heads because they were missing threes and looking around. Murray just got right on the court, scored 2.
Well, I'm telling you right now, the crazy thing about this whole issue with the Miami Heat losing games in this finals, not only are the Denver Nuggets a better team, but as I said it before and I said it earlier in the show, the Miami Heat expended all of their energy in the Boston Celtics series. And also, you have to understand something. They were celebrating in Miami their Game 6. And then that disaster happened, that miracle tip-in at the end. And I think that deflation is still there. It's hard to come back from that. And then they had to go back to Boston and fight and win that Game 7. I just don't see these guys doing too much more after that. And again, JB, the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. We like Denver, rotation number 522. How you going to bet them? Do you think Denver can cover the spread? I mean, the spread in this series has been around 10 the whole time. And I think that the sports bet makers and the sports line makers understand that Miami just doesn't have enough scoring firepower. Do you think it's valuable enough to take Denver -9? Do you think Miami might get inside of that? Because after what we saw a couple days ago, I mean, it was a complete blowout. I mean, they covered that spread, took the expensive money line, and the under hit. So if you want to go with Denver in this game, what's the best way to do that? Just take them in the points, or do you want to lay out a whole bunch of in order to make any profit, you got to spend at least $1,000, which a lot of people who just paid and lost money on fights and stuff last night and various other shenanigans at the table may not have. But Denver at -9, it's tempting. But it's also knowing that Miami's going to play with all they got and probably won't pull it out in Denver. How do you bet it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that Miami keeping it a little bit closer than that. I think they're going to keep it closer. I really do. I think they're going to hit the over between them. I really do. What you said it was 208?
Yeah, 208.5. It's hard for me to pick the over with Miami because they just don't have any scorers, man. Jimmy Butler will have to score 55 points for them to even get close to it.
Yeah, but I think Denver's going to score at least 120, so that's got to put them at, 88 points, 89 points together. So
if Miami gets 90 points and Denver gets 120, maybe. But, I mean, for Denver, you got to think, it's their first championship. I think they're going to put the pedal to the metal on these guys, and the sports book wants to make a ton of money.
I think Miami's going to try to keep up with them, so I think they'll get over. But I think the spread, I don't think they'll cover the spread. I think it'll be closer.
Looks like I'm just going to have to enjoy this game, man, because this is too expensive. Betting on a done deal.
They're going to play as hard as they can, so I think you're going to. I mean, these goodbye games, man, win or go home. I mean, you see everything they got. They're going to empty the cabinet. So.
Well, we're going to finish up when we get back from this short commercial break. My main man, Ron Third Down Best Bets, JB the Ticket, and Vegas Scoreboard Express, live here in Las Vegas, 107.1 FM, KSHP, AM 1400. I probably will take you on the total. I'll probably play 2 tickets, 1 over, 1 under, just to see what happens to be involved in the game. But again, rotation number Denver 522, the Denver Nuggets -9. minus 380 on the money line, and then you got the Miami Heat plus 9, plus 300 on the money line at rotation number 521. Should be a good game, but when you look at what the Denver Nuggets have been able to do throughout the entire season, you got a 1 seed in the Western Conference going against the 8th seed in the Eastern Conference who is spent. And let's not forget, Denver was well rested from their Western Conference Final Series. And just the fact that they've had that rest and time to game plan and the attack mode, and Miami just not able to score the basketball as much as they need without Jimmy Butler's help. Man, looks like we're going to have the Denver Nuggets as world champions. But again, you guys can keep it locked here, KSHP 107.1. When I get back from this break, we're going to round it out for you. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to be back next week, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Pacific time, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here on KSHP AM 1400 107.1. So keep it locked. Ron, any shout-outs before I let you go to break? Go ahead.
Yeah, 2 quickies. Got to mention our super fan, Taylor. Thanks for listening as always. And my buddy Darrell Lackey from Free Factory in Fort Wayne. Thank you to Darrell and all the boys there for helping me out. Thank you so much.
Also want to give a shout-out to my main man, Linwood Hard Rock Hamilton. That football season is coming up. OTAs are almost finished. We're going to be breaking down the defensive side of the ball with him coming up. Also, you guys check out my website, VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Click his link for his contributions to the show and also make a contribution to his documentary. He's got a GoFundMe up there for you. Doesn't need a lot to get it done. Just wants to get it out there, and the story is going to be very inspirational for kids and other folks alike to show you what a man can do when perseverance is the focus in his life. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. When I get back, we're going to sign off with you guys and get you off to the book. It's time to get that grease.
You're listening to the boss of the big board.
The best choice for convenience, comfort, and value, My Place hotels are ideal for both short-term and long-term travelers. The rooms at My Place features pillow-top mattresses, microfiber bedding, and a variety of soft and firm pillows. All extended stay rooms offer their own kitchen, which includes a full-size refrigerator and a cooktop. On-site laundry facilities are also available for extended stays at pet-friendly My Place hotels. Book your stays online at myplacehotels.com. My Place Hotels, St. George and West Jordan, Utah. Make My Place your place.
This football season, stay in the game with Fubo TV. Over 100 live channels, including NFL Network, NBA TV, and FS1. Don't miss any of the action. Get 7 days free on us at VegasScoreboardExpress.com. Don't get cabled. Get Fubo TV.
Keep it locked with your boy on the ones and twos. Going in on the wheels of steel.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball.
Back at you live, JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express. Got my main man, Ron, Third Down Best Bets, back on the line with me. Talking this Vegas Golden Knights, Florida Panthers series. Again, rotation number 51. Florida Panthers plus 1.5 on that puck line. Don't see that happening. Vegas Golden Knights, rotation number 52. Coming into this game, ready and poised to win that Stanley Cup at minus 1.5 on the puck line, minus 165 on the money line. The total, 6 goals scored. So I got Ron back with me. We're getting ready to sign off with you here in a couple of minutes. Vegas Golden Knights, you think it's a done deal on Tuesday? Most everyone seems to think so. The book has priced it right. I think that's the game to bet on if you want to put cash in your pocket. I mean, this NBA Finals, it's a very tough matchup. You know you got Miami going to be coming out with all they got. Rotation number 521, the Miami Heat going out to Denver again for game, what is this, game 6? No, game 5. Oh, my goodness, these guys almost might get that gentleman sweep, but I'm telling you, ooh, rough. Miami, hopefully that dog is barking. Rotation number 521, plus 9 on the spread, plus 300 on that money line. Rotation number 522, the Denver Nuggets, minus 9, minus 380, very expensive. The total is 208. You think the total is in play. So what say ye, Rod? And then we'll talk a little bit about Miami has an interesting situation. I was listening to this yesterday on VJ and Martin. Shout out my boy VJ. Follow him on Twitter at HuskyENT. He's on Fox Sports Radio out in L.A. Got a national show. Martin and VJ, check him out on Saturday evenings, 4 to 7 p.m. But we're talking about this situation here in Miami where they're not able to attract top free agents. And Martin and VJ, when they were talking about this yesterday, I think it was Martin that said this, is that they haven't had a premier free agent come to Miami since the Chris Bosh, LeBron James era, but they have a ton of money, and they are a team that is winning and always poised to go to the championship. So what do you think it is about Miami that's not able to get some of these top free agents in NBA free agency? Because if you look at the city as itself, I mean, Miami's a great city. You guys know we have an office there. Love the city of Miami. Love Miami-Dade, the beaches, the lifestyle. They even got a little bit of legal green down there. So I'm talking about this from the perspective of the NBA, though. What is it with Miami not being able to attract big-time free agents? Is it because the way they treated LeBron after he decided to go back to Cleveland? Or is it some front office issues, intimidation factor with Pat Riley and things like that? Go ahead.
Well, I'm not there, so it's hard to say. But, I think since Dwayne Wade has been gone, they really haven't, excuse the term, they haven't had a stud. I mean, they haven't had a star, number one guy where, Jimmy Butler this year has finally kind of stepped up late in the year and kind of showed he has that potential. But he's still not a 35-point scorer, dominant every single game takeover guy. Mm-hmm. That's what attracts guys. You want to win. You're not going to go play with a bunch of good NBA players, because your chances of winning a title, you're seeing it right now. Jimmy Butler's with a bunch of good NBA players. You're seeing what it is. It's not enough to win, usually.
Damian Lillard turning into a dinosaur up in Portland. There's been rumors that he wants to get out. Do you think that would be a good fit for him in Miami? Because if you look at it from the perspective of the Miami Heat, he's a great player, but he's also aging as well. Jimmy Butler is getting up in age. Free agency is kind of set. They're going more towards the draft. I'm just not too sure what Miami's going to do in the offseason. Okay, you got James Harden available. I don't know if people want him running around, launching from deep. But there are some guards available, and the NBA is a very guard-heavy league now. And when you look at who's winning the championship, it's going through the big man, Nikola Jokic, down in the middle. And that's what's giving people fits, because they're just not understanding that in order to win in basketball, you got to have somebody in the middle that can control it. And while he's not a dominant force per se on the block and posting guys up, he's still the pivot. Great passing, great rebounding. And if you leave him open from anywhere 30 feet down, he can hit the shot. So I'm telling you right now, go with the Denver Nuggets. Rotation number 522. That should be able to put cash in your pocket. I'm going to hold my nose and tell you to take him in the spread, -9. I just don't think Miami has the firepower. Got about 60 seconds left. Ron, third down, best bets. Follow him on Instagram at RaiderHawk1. Again, want to give a shout out to my main man, Aries Spears, for coming on the show this morning, waking you up early here in Las Vegas. 107.1, giving you the breakdown on what he thinks is going to happen in the NBA Finals. He also concurs and thinks it's a done deal. Push with the Denver Nuggets. Any final shout-outs, Ron, and then we'll take it on to the book so you guys can get the bankroll and get that money. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want my big buddy, Big Mike at Mandalay Tobacco. He'll pour right in there.
That's what I'm talking about.
Good.
You know what it is. I don't know what the heck you were saying, but that's for you and your family. JB the Ticket, Vegas Scoreboard Express, signing off for my main man, Ron, third down, best bets. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening today. We'll be back next week, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., KSHP 107.1 FM. You know what time it is. Time to get the money.
You're listening to the boss of the big ball, JB the Ticket.